everybody, welcome to Extraordinary Game Changers Television. I'm Liam and
I'm Nathania.
And today we're going to be interviewing amazing authors of this amazing book called The Nameless Girl and the Lost Prince. Please meet Max and Tanya.
Hello.
So, can you tell us a little bit about the story and what it means to you?
So, I was sitting on the beach with my Auntie Tanya right here. And we came up with a story. She started writing it down one day, and now it's a published book.
Can you maybe give us like a summary of the whole story?
There is a girl who has finds a magic karate headband, and she can do some pretty awesome karate moves. Hey, Max?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was Max's contribution. She is working. There's a dragon that is tormenting her town and has eaten her father before she was born, and as a result she has no name, because in her town, what happens in her town?
Only the father can name their children.
Right, and since he died before she was born, she lives without a name. And so she feels kind of weird about that, doesn't she? And so she really does not like that dragon because he ate her father on the day she was born. And so she's gonna she's determined to destroy this dragon. She can get revenge on that dragon who ate her dad. And so she goes on lots of adventures. She has to try and free a prince who
What about the dream?
Yeah, well, she does have this dream at the beginning that seems to be a message, where there's this prince that is sleeping, and he is reaching for this sword all the time, right? So she finds out from a wise woman that this sword was the sword used by the prince to try to kill the dragon 1,000 years ago, because that's how long the dragon's been tormenting their town. And she learns that the sword is still in that dragon's cave because the dragon had taken that sword when the prince had tried to kill the dragon 1,000 years ago, and then the prince had run away. And so she's like, well, where is this prince? But she learns from the wise woman that he may be asleep trapped in an enchanted spell, and that he is the only one who can use the sword. So she's determined to get that sword from the dragon and finally get that prince to kill the dragon. And we don't want to say too much more about the story, but there's a lot of magic in the story, and it's a fairy tale, and like any good fairy tale, people will see different things as they read it.
My favorite part was probably the part with the karate headband. I wish I had that.
Yeah.
That's like the best ever.
I had so many favorite parts. Like, it was such a good book. But I gotta say, the best part was probably when she found her name.
Do you relate to the characters or the adventure? Like, is the adventure your life, or what was your favorite character?
Do you relate? Who's your favorite character in the story?
Probably Matt.
Matt. Oh yeah. What is it that Matt does in the story?
I liked when he squirmed a lot.
He squirms a lot. Yeah. So he's the grandson of the wise woman, and in the second chapter, right? He's sitting in with her when the girl comes to talk to the wise woman, and he squirms, and in the end he's a bit of a helper too, isn't he? Yeah, but we don't want to give that part away. No. Yeah. Well, my favorite part and the character I relate to is the nameless girl. I relate to her feeling of frustration when she's trying so hard to wake the prince. Finally, she's right there, she's so close, and he's within her reach, and she just spends so long and tries to use everything that she can do to try to wake him up. But she gets very discouraged sometimes, and I know that feeling in my own life when when there's someone that we love who we want to see. We know that they have so much life and love in them, but some people in our lives can seem like struggle, and we want to just see them free from those struggles, but it's really hard when you're on the outside watching them.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I don't fully understand because it's your life, but I can relate a little bit to that. Yeah, with my grandpa and all of them. But anyway.
Yeah. I know we're all connected, and I think that's the other part I feel about this story is it shows how when one of us is struggling and hurting, we're all hurting on some level. And the more that we can support each other and work in community to help us all live full and wonderful lives, the better we all are. Because when one of us is in pain, we're all suffering too.
Yeah. So true.
Mhm.
So, what do you hope people feel after they read the book? Like,
What do you think, Max?
Happy, sad,
Mixed emotions.
yeah, mixed emotions, definitely.
that's good.
Do you hope that you were telling me in the car? I asked you if it made you sad, that story, and you said no, it didn't make you sad.
No.
In fact, what did you feel like about the story?
Mixed emotions.
Mixed
definitely.
emotions. Oh, okay. I thought you were pretty excited about the adventure.
That was a pretty exciting part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big adventure. I think any good fairy tale is more of a mirror to ourselves, and so I hope when people read it, they wouldn't feel that we were trying to give them any kind of message, but rather they would read the story and see themselves in the story and their own experiences. And I don't know if everyone will love the story, because there are some parts of the story that even I struggle with, and there's some things that the characters do that I don't even know if I would have the same kind of courage as those characters in this life, whether that would be something that I could do. But I do love the way that the story is woven together and still leaves us with a bit of a question.
I wouldn't be able to find a dragon, that's for sure.
Well, there are definitely those things that fly around with magic karate headbands.
Yeah.
I'd be the guy that's just swimming away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As fast as you can.
Or riding in the houses.
You think you could offer yourself in sacrifice to the dragon like some of the people
No,
do?
I just hide.
Yeah.
I just hide under the table in my house.
When you guys sell the book, where does the money go when people buy it? And what makes it important to you?
Well, since Max is my co-author, I decided that I would give all the profits to Max, because his father died last year, and we are raising some money towards educational activities that he might like to do. We're calling it an education fund, but if his mom wants to be able to pay for soccer camp or do something like that. Right now, as an author, you don't make a lot of money, but the little bit that's coming in, I'd like for it to go to some of the activities that Max would like to do as a gift from his father, because for Max and I, it does feel like his father gave us this story. It was only a month after it's my brother and his father who died that we were playing together on that beach, and when my brother died, he did die very quickly, and he didn't have a chance to say goodbye to us. We said goodbye to him, but he was gone pretty quickly, so it felt a bit magical in that sense that he was able to give us a story, and it felt like some of the last, to me anyways, some of the words in the last chapter felt like I could hear your dad's voice in those words. So it feels like a gift from your dad to you, because I know that he would want to do everything in his power to be able to still be with you and help you in any way he could if he was still here. So, but if it becomes a world famous movie someday, I'm sure we'll figure out ways that we can share the profits with other people and other charities, and we would love if anyone was interested in using our story to fundraise or anything like that. I would be happy to have a conversation. I know Max would be open with that too. Hey, Max? Yeah.
How can people contact you? And where can they get your book?
So right now people can order through the website that is provided with this video, and if people are in the States, they can order through Blurb, and if they're in Canada, they can save on shipping by ordering directly through me and the website. I've set it up with PayPal, so it's a secure, safe way of buying the book.
That's awesome. In the Phone Booth Project, we talk about a modern day hero. And basically a trait of a modern day hero is they're conscious co-creators, which means they're not afraid to work with other people to help them, right? And we really admire you guys for doing that and working with other people to make your book. And it's really awesome. So, what people did you work with?
Who did some of the art? Do you remember? Who was the one who did the picture of? We'll show us one of them. Do you remember who drew the cave? Or the picture of the girl fighting Auntie Claire? That's my dad's sister. Auntie Claire drew that. And who drew the picture when she drew the girl making the potion and all the karate moves?
That was Miracle, I'm pretty sure.
No, that's Auntie Claire. And so then who did the map?
That was
Colette and Uncle Claude. Yeah. And then you had another cousin who helped.
Miracle.
Yeah. And then these were some of the friends, some neighbors who it's true you don't know everyone who did some of the drawing. And some of the drawings I did as well, but who helped us with the editing? Do you remember who we talked about? Jalita, and she's a friend of mine. And what did she do too? Do you remember what she wrote?
Oh yeah, the poem.
The poem. So Jalita Severson Baker is a poet in Calgary, and she had been helping me all along with the story. And so I asked her if she could write a poem for our story because good fairy tales have a song woven through. And so it is a song in the story, but she wrote it. A song is a poem when it starts, right? And then, so maybe someday someone will put music to this poem.
Yeah.
And
If it ever becomes a movie, someone will just
yeah.
sing that.
Well, my uncle who writes operas, he's thinking of turning this whole book into an opera. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be
A kid's opera.
Awesome.
That would be cool.
That'd be fun to watch.
And then who else helped us with editing?
Uncle Trevor.
Uncle Trevor, so that's my husband, and my friend Robin, who is a professional editor. Thank goodness for her, because I am not a writer from the beginning. So after going through many, many revisions and drafts, this is one thing for you guys to learn as kids, is that your first thing that you write is never the thing that's going to end up in this form. You go through lots and lots and lots of changes. So even when I thought I was so close to being done, I gave it to my friend who's the editor, and it came back with red all over it. Like, change this and change that and change this. I'm like, oh, it's just like starting over. So I felt like the girl in the story with that too, because it felt like I was so far away. But eventually we got there. Yeah, we got there. I had to just say, that's good enough. And then you have to give your imperfect offering to the world.
Thank you so much for making this awesome book. I'm sure it's going to inspire so many people. It's such an amazing book.
Oh, I'm
It's
glad
so-
you guys really enjoyed
it's
it.
so
Hey, Max, we're pretty honored. Well, we hope people, even though it's a gift for us if people buy the book, it's also, we hope that the greater gift is for those people who do read it and can find some meaning in the story for themselves.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to thank you for joining us today in this amazing, with these amazing people, Max and Tanya. This is such an amazing project, and this book is amazing. Thank you guys so much for writing this. We are wishing
You an extraordinary, game-changing day in your extraordinary, game-changing life. X years out!